And we are airing. Welcome back to Life Unfiltered with Joe. I have a little special for you guys today. So, welcome spooky season. So, this week, actually, there is going to be 3 podcasts released, 3 YouTube videos released to go with the podcasts. And that is because it is Halloween week. How exciting is that? If you guys dress up for Halloween or have Halloween parties or have kids, it's just a really fun time to enjoy the season, to get into the pretend play or costumes or whatever. If you're watching the visual, you can see all my Halloween decorations behind me. And I also have a YouTube video on how to decorate for Halloween if you are not a decorator or if you need some guidance. So you can go ahead and jump over to my YouTube channel and check that out. Another thing that I'm going to be talking about during these 3 episodes released this week is kind of like tailored to Halloween. So I don't have a lot of like ghost stories per se, but I have a lot of like creepy stories or just weird encounters or weird stories that I have during my life. So I thought that would be interesting to listen to. I like listening to ghost stories or spooky things during Halloween, during October. So I wanted to give that to my followers, my podcasters, my listeners, my viewers, wherever you are listening to this podcast from. So first and foremost, I want to get into the Amazon review. And this Amazon review is actually a gift for a friend. So by the time this airs, she would be already have received this gift for her birthday. So how I chose this gift for her was I went into her house. Well, obviously, like we hang out. So I noticed that she had a ton of essential oils. And last year, I believe I gave her like this rolling ball that had crystals inside that she could put oils in. And then this year, I decided to gift her. Let me get it out of the box if you're watching the visual. If you're not watching the visual, there are these little wooden car scent things. So what you do is you put your essential oils on this wood and you put them in the vents in your car, and it actually makes your car smell like that essential oils. So essentially, it is a car oil diffuser. I really like these. They're super cute. They have they have a lot of detail on them. And for the Amazon choices, there's like the detailing that you see here, which is like flowers, like wooden flowers. They have elephants. It's called a C-type design. They have paw prints. They have spider webs. So you can choose your design. If you want your essential oils to be in the car with you, you can go ahead and buy these. And what you do is you just drop your essential oils right onto the wood. You don't need to open it or anything, and it diffuses it all for you. I actually might buy these for myself because if you think about it, if you're buying like car fresheners, they're not as natural anyways. And if you already have essential oils, you kind of like aren't investing any more into anything else. Anywho, those are only going for $13.99, which I found was like super cheap. And it came in this like little box, and the brand is actually called Kilo Step. The box is really cute. It's like a natural, I don't know, it just has like a really natural look, natural packaging. But that is my Amazon review today. So before we get into the spooky season stories, let's just listen to this beat, get into your zone, get a coffee, get a tea, get a blunt. I don't know, whatever you do during your podcast listening time. If you're cleaning, if you're driving, I hope this keeps you awake, and let's get started. All right, welcome back. So today this should be releasing on October 28th. So we still have a couple more days to Halloween. I'll be releasing the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And then the 31st is for you and your family, your time to celebrate or whatever. So to start off, the spooky, I don't know what you want to call this, like little series, I guess, this Halloween series, I'm going to be talking about me as a child and the hallucinations I used to have, which is it's very odd. It's very different, and you don't really hear about kids having like hallucinations for a short period of time, but it happened to me and it was very, very scary. So let's begin with the first one. So the first time I ever hallucinated was when I was about 5 years old. I was outside playing in the mud puddles. It was raining. I was just digging in the mud, having a grand old time, and I saw a worm. And I used to play with worms. I used to put them on the hook for fishing. And after this moment, worms are literally the most scary thing in life to me now. Like, I freak the fuck out. So I was outside playing. I was 5 years old, and I saw this worm and I wanted to squish it. So I stepped on it. And I swear to you, you guys, I saw it crawl in my shoe. Literally crawl in my shoe. And all of a sudden, I look down and I have worms all over my body. They're taking over my body. They're all over my legs. They're all over my arms, my face, my hands. They are devouring me like alive. And these hallucinations were like, they were real to me. I didn't think that I was just seeing things. Like, I literally thought this was happening to me. So I run inside. I'm screaming, Mom, Mom, Mom. I'm crying. And I tell her I have worms all over me. And I remember her saying, like, no, you don't. What, like, where? And I'm showing her all these worms all over my body that she obviously doesn't see because I'm literally hallucinating it. And she's trying to, like, brush them off. You know, she's trying to, like, get in that zone with me and pretend like she sees them or whatever. She's trying to brush them off. And I tell her, they're still there. I'm bawling my eyes out at this point. I'm ripping off my clothes, yelling, telling her, please get them off me. And she strips me down. I think she stripped down also because I wouldn't let her let go of me. She's holding me. We're in the shower. And she's telling me, like, we're rinsing off the worms. We're rinsing off the worms. And I look down. She's holding me. And I see them crawling up my legs. And I'm telling her they're still on me. Like, we need just get them off of me. I'm crying. And eventually she rinses all the worms off my body. And my mind goes back to normal. Until this day, I can tell you that that was real. Like, that's how real it was to me. Till this day, I will say, one day I had worms all over my body. And it was the most scary, traumatizing experience that I ever had in my, like, almost in my lifetime. It was so traumatic. And I'm 25 years old and I'm still afraid of worms. Like, it will send shivers down my spine if it's even raining outside because I know that the worms will come out on the sidewalk, and that freaks me out. I won't even go outside if it's raining. So I don't know if anyone has ever had that experience, but if you have, maybe not that exact experience, but like hallucinations, like, please let me know that I'm not alone. Like, I know I'm probably fucking crazy, but I can't be the only one. So that's number one. Number two is I was around the same age, 5 years old, and I remember hallucinating this fucking penguin in my kitchen. So I was laying in bed. I slept with my mom at this time, and our bedroom was in the back, but she had this picture or mirror on her wall that reflected into the kitchen. So when you're laying in bed, you can see the kitchen from the bedroom. And my mom was sleeping. I was laying in bed, and I remember looking at this picture reflecting into the kitchen, and I see a penguin at my table, my kitchen table in the kitchen. And I try to ignore it. I try to go back to sleep. But every single time I open my eyes, that penguin was still there. And eventually I'm crying because it's scary. And I wake her up and I tell her there's something in the kitchen. And she woke up. She said, there's nothing in the kitchen. I said, yes, there is. Look. And I'm showing her because I visibly see it with my own eyes, but she's not seeing it because it's not real and I'm just hallucinating. And I remember her picking me up and carrying me out of the kitchen and showing me nothing was out there. And by the time we got out to the kitchen, it was gone. But again, just like my worm story, till this day, I still say that there was a fucking penguin in my kitchen. Like, I know what I saw. I mean, I'm an adult now, so I know that I was hallucinating, but it was that real to me. So, yeah, there's that. Um, a third hallucination I had was probably the most long term hallucination I had. And this happened after I watched the scary movie The Ring. If scary movies are your thing, I encourage you to watch The Ring during this season if that's for you. But after this movie, I've never watched another scary movie ever in my life. So in The Ring, there's this girl. She has long black hair, and her name is Samara. And that movie freaked me out. And ever since that time, when I was younger, there was a long, long duration, probably like 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 years, that I had nightmares at least once a week about this girl, Samara, that came from this movie. And she would haunt my dreams, she would give me nightmares, and she would never leave me alone. And one night, I was sleeping at my grandma's house. I was in bed, and I remember waking up and I see Samara, this girl, in the living room, and she's coming out of the heater vent. And I'm like awake, so I'm like, I know this isn't true. So I just need to go out to the living room, maybe feel the heater vent, prove to myself that this isn't real, right? So I get up out of bed. It's actually the dining room. So I walk to the dining room and I get closer to the heater vent, telling myself this isn't real, but I still fucking see her. And I get close enough and she attacks me. You guys, I'm literally thinking this is true. Like, this is so real to me. She attacks me. So at this point, I'm like pinned on the ground. I'm screaming, I'm crying, like, let go of me, let me go, get off of me. My grandma jumps up. She hears me. She comes out to the dining room telling me, like, what's wrong? I'm telling her, like, don't you see this girl is attacking me? This girl won't let me go. She won't get off of me. And my grandma's like, what girl are you talking about? What's going on? She's like on the verge of crying because she doesn't know what's going on with me. And I remember her like grabbing me, holding me, telling me it's okay, like I'm safe, she's here. And eventually, like, my mind gets back to normal. But it was so traumatizing because just like the worm thing, it was so real to me and it was physical. I felt it, I saw it, I saw her on me, I saw her attacking me. And basically my grandma was able to calm me down, get me back in bed. But I don't understand why throughout my lifetime or throughout my childhood, why I had these hallucinations. So if anyone out there that's listening, what is this a sign of? Like, I'm a believer, I'm Christian, but like, for those of you who are witchy vibes, like, what is this? I want to know. So reach out to me. Let me know through I can't even talk. Reach out to me through one of my forms below if you have any more details, anything what this could have been. So yeah, there's that. After that hallucination, Samara, this girl, kept on coming into my dreams, kept giving me nightmares. And one dream, I told myself that I obviously can't escape her. I obviously am always going to be scared of her. So what do? You make friends with your enemies. So I go up to her in my dream, scared as fuck, and tell her, like, can we just be friends? Can I be your friend? Can I scare people with you? I'm trying to get on her side. And I remember her telling me in my dream, like, she was like, I still don't like you, but I guess we can be friends. And ever since then, I have not had a nightmare about her, which is so weird to me, but here we are. So those are just a little bit of weird, spooky things that happened to me to let you guys in on my life during this holiday. So let's go into a haunted house. So I've never experienced a real life like haunted house. However, my friend, her mom has. And she told me this story, so I might get the details a little bit mixed up, but I'm going to tell you guys how I remember it. And actually, it's funny because this house is literally around the block, like probably 5 minutes walking from my house. So it's really close to home, literally, which is very interesting. I actually went and looked at the house, not inside, but I drove by it so I could see what it looked like. But let's begin. So my friend's mom, her dad, and her two sisters, because my friend did not exist at this time, they all moved into this house, and the two sisters, the girls, the bedroom was upstairs. And then the parents' bedrooms were downstairs. So the girls were little, you know, when you tell kids to go to bed, they might not go to bed right away. They want to get up, they want to play. But this was and this wasn't the case for their house. So the girls, at the beginning of trying to get them to bed, they would get up, they would play with their toys, and the mom would go up there and say, get in bed, it's time for bed, go back downstairs. And this was kind of like normal. So one night, she put the girls to bed, and she remembers hearing the girls play upstairs. So she stomps upstairs, she's mad, the girls are supposed to be sleeping, it's their bedtime. She goes up there, the girls are in bed, they appear to be sleeping. And the toys, the toys are out. But I remember before bed, she made the kids put the toys away. So she thought they're just pretending. So she goes back downstairs and she hears the kids playing again. She goes upstairs again, mad, furious. The kids are still sleeping. She goes up to the kids are literally sleeping. So then she goes back downstairs. If I remember right, she was cooking in the kitchen and she felt one of the girls go by her. She just ignored it. She's going to finish cooking. So she yells to her husband, like, didn't so-and-so come down here? And he was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I saw her. I felt her. She walked right behind me. And the husband was like, no, like, they're sound asleep. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, I felt her. I saw her. She came downstairs. So she goes back upstairs. Again, the girls are sleeping. And this happened multiple times. So then one time, they were in the process of moving. Actually, before I get into that story, I'll tell you the story first. So one time, they were getting ready to leave, and she shut off all the lights in her house. They walk outside. She locks the door. She looks up into the attic where the girl's bedroom was. Obviously, it's not like a dirty attic, like it was a finished, cute bedroom attic. Anyways, she looks up and the light is on. And she specifically remembers and double checking that that light was turned off. So again, another sign that there's ghosts in that freaking house. So that was that. And then I think like the final story from this house was they were getting ready to move. They were packing up all their things, and they had all their toys, all the kids' toys in like trash bags. And the girls were downstairs. Her mom just had to go upstairs, grab the trash bag of toys, you know, to put them out to the car to move. She goes upstairs and the bags are ripped open. The toys are scattered around the attic as if someone's been playing with them. And she asks the girls like, no. But remind you, during this entire time, one of the little girls had said, one of my friend's sisters had said that there was a little girl in that house and that she was playing with the toys. And my friend's sister said that she would always play with this little girl and she was nice. And at first her mom thought that this was an imaginary friend, but turns out the house was actually haunted, and these little girls, these ghost girls, were actually in the house, turning on the lights, playing with the toys, making the noise, brushing the mom walking downstairs this entire time. Now, I don't know what you guys take from that, but I know if it was me, I could not fucking handle that. I see, feel, hear, or I'm a very like, I can feel energy, I can feel vibes. So if I feel anything, I'm not fucking moving in that house. And if I'm already there, I'm getting out, like as of yesterday. Bye. So that's another little spooky story. Also, if you guys have any ghost stories or spooky stories or anything like that, I would love for you guys to go into the forums below, fill out the form, tell me about it, and I would love to read it out loud on a podcast. So there's that. Now, moving on to the third and final story I have for you, I did want to mention that I don't really know how long these podcasts will be. It looks like I'm running at 15 minutes right now. I know a lot of my podcasts are usually 30, 45 minutes, but since this is a series and I'm doing little segments for you guys, I'm not sure how long they will be. So let's get into the last story. Okay, so we were living at this house, and this is I call this an angel story because it's not scary. It's actually very calming. It's very eye-opening. It's very peaceful, but yet it still has to do with spirits per se. So we were in this house. My little sister was about, gosh, I want to say 1 year old, maybe two, and we had these wooden staircases, and it was my mom, me, and my older sister. We were all at the bottom of the staircase, and my little sister, who was 1 or 2 years old, is at the top of the staircase. And she's little, but she knows how to go down the stairs, butt first, feet first, backwards, like little kids do. So she's on the top of the stairs, and we're all watching her maneuver and learn how to practice getting down the stairs. Well, she loses her slip, and we all gasp because we know she is about to tumble down this entire flight of wooden stairs, but she doesn't. What happens in this moment is she goes to slip down the first stair, and all of a sudden her body elevates, and she's in this star position, like a Patrick on SpongeBob position, like a starfish. She's in this star position. Her body lifts up into the air. I'm not joking. Does a full sideways flip, turns completely around in the air, moving down the stairs again in the fucking air, and she is set down like a peaceful baby on the bottom of the floor at the last step. So gently, she is laid down like a feather, and she gets up, and everything is normal. And we all sat there what the fuck just happened? But none of us were scared. There was no weird vibe. There was nothing scary about it. It was like her guardian angel had known that she was about to fall, and her guardian angel had lifted her up and floated her down the stairs and laid her gently like a feather so she didn't get hurt. And I will always remember that story. And seeing things like that in front of you for yourself is so, I don't even know how to explain it. It's so just in awe. You can't even, I'm explaining it to you, but you can't explain that feeling that you get when you see these types of things happen. And right then and there, it's how do you not believe that there are guardian angels? Or how do you not believe that there is a higher power out there, that there's a protector out there, or something out there that's bigger than us? It's how do you not believe that after you've witnessed such a thing? But anywho, that's what I have for you today. So I had talked about my hallucinations, talked about my friend's haunted house, and then I talked about my angel story with my little sister. I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this series. I wanted to get into the spooky vibes with you, and to give this special, you guys know I only release a podcast or YouTube video, well, podcast specifically once a week. Sometimes I release 2 YouTube videos a week, but this week it's going to be 3, and I hope that you guys will fill out the forms, join me on this little series so I can share some of your stories, and have a happy Halloween, and we will see you tomorrow. After this releases, I will see you again tomorrow.